Good morning. Welcome back to the Career Club. I'm Varuna from Career Club. Let's talk about another episode which will be talking about impact of your time management in your productivity. With my 14 years experience in corporate sector, the biggest problem we have is how we manage our time productively, which will help us on getting the desired results. Usually when it comes to our personal planning also, we do set the yearly goals, weekly goals, but only after 1 week or 2 week or 1 month we used to say, I haven't achieved anything, my goals are, I have set the goals but I was not able to match them, I'm losing time here, there, I don't know how it happened. All these excuses are coming. Then you are losing your productivity. When it comes to productivity, you have to look the productivity in a broader sense. One area is your career or your professional life. Other thing is your health. Another thing is your relationship. Sometimes we think about the productivity on the angle only whether we are success in the professional life or your career. We forget about the health and your relationship. So productivity has to be all these three things. So if you are a person who manage your time properly, then you will have a balance of all these three things. You are a, I would say, a person with higher productivity. So when it comes to productivity, first thing is we have to understand as individuals what are the things where we lose our productivity, why we are losing our productivity. Now if you take our productivity or what the outcome we produce within per unit time, for example, a person sleeps 8 hours, he has 16 hours. Out of 16 hours, if you can deduct 4 hours for other things, you are using 12 hours effectively. What is the outcome you deliver in your 12 hours against your plan? This is very simply your productive, but the key factor is how you manage your time. Now when it comes to productivity and time management, we have to understand nowadays especially what are the areas we are losing our productivity. Most of us losing our productivity mainly in a few areas, which I will talk about myself, where I have identified the areas which I am losing my time, hence my productive time is waste on these things. Now for example, one thing is I used to understand is mobile phone. So we always used to take the mobile phone and scroll in like this and chat, scrolling like this, that, and always we are trying to go into mobile. Why we go for mobile phone? Most of the time, you might not understand this. These social medias, they have a algorithm running on these social media. Now, for example, you can test it by yourself. If you search something in one of your social medias, next time you log into that social media, you will have items or you will have videos coming in that particular search queue which you have typed previously. So they are running an algorithm and they will make sure whatever you do, they will capture and analyze quickly. They will make another set of things which will attract you to their social media platform, because if only your view time is higher in these social medias, they will have money, because then they can run their advertisement, they can run the programs. On that they will earn their money. So I would not say social media is bad or you should not go to social media. You need to have a control over things. That is which I am trying to teach you, which is I am trying to share with my experience. So biggest one is social media. The next thing is TV. When it comes to the television, again, especially in the Asian context, we have a knack of watching TV from, like, for example, when most of us, when we sit in the TV after coming from work, we will watch news, then next teledrama until midnight we will watch. But if somebody asks what's the outcome from those things, you don't get nothing. So another platform you are wasting time is your television time. So your phone, scrolling through your phones for social media, then your phone, then other one is lack of focus and attention. Sometimes we lose time, especially when you go to work. When you don't have lack of focus and attention, you would try to do the same thing again and again. You try to, for example, you try to type an email, and after some time there's one guy comes, and then you stop the thing and have a chit chat with that guy. Then you forget that you have to send an email. You will come to realization when you log in again and see you have missed an urgent email, which email has caused you a lot of problem because it has not gone on time. Hence there is so many things are pending and you get calls, so you are wasting your productivity time with lack of attention and focus. Another thing is multitasking. So many of us waste our time trying to do multitask. You don't do anything. We say we are trying to grab the whole bunch of oranges, where we don't get neither the bunch of oranges nor any single orange. So we have to make sure we take things which we can do for a particular time frame. The last thing is, the biggest thing, especially when it comes to professionals, is meeting. Nowadays, we used to carry the symptoms or residues from the corona time. Most of us was not able to go physically into our offices, so we had a lot of meetings going one over other, where we used to do meetings to get our things done. But the bad thing is, we still continue this same trend after we come to normalization. Of course, you can have meetings. It is okay for you to have meetings, but you need to have meetings if it is necessary. Very simple thumb rule: if you have a meeting, before you schedule a meeting, just go through these few steps. First thing is, do I really need a meeting for this one? Can I go and have a chat with that guy and sort this out? Second thing is, do I need all these people into this meeting? Sometimes we get the people for meeting just for the sake of nice to have, but we are wasting the time of that person, and also we are wasting our time, because that person who is having nice to have might come to the meeting because he doesn't know anything. He just landed there. He's trying to get an understanding through asking a lot of questions which is already been answered or which has already been discussed, but time of the meeting will be wasted just trying to update him within the meeting. And so avoid meetings just for the sake of having. Avoid getting people just for the sake of nice to have. And third thing is, clearly set your meeting objectives before the meeting and circulate to your stakeholders, because then they can come prepared. So they know what we are discussing, what is the expected outcome, all those things. Then they come prepared for that. So otherwise, what will happen? Some people come to meeting, they don't know what's the meeting objectives and everything. They come to meeting and say, when we ask question, did you bring that one? No, Machan, I didn't bring that one because it was not mentioned. So I thought this is just having a chat and chit chat and discussing. So we are wasting time. So please be mindful when you schedule a meeting. Have these three things in your mind, because otherwise you are wasting time of yourself and a lot of other people. So I will not go into details on this meeting I think, because I'll be doing a separate video on this one, sharing how we can effectively conduct a meeting in professional life without wasting your important productive time. So let's come back to this our topic in how your overall productivity of your be improved through time management. Now we have identified some of the key components which will impact in taking your productivity off from your schedule. The next thing is we need to look at how we can improve the productivity through proper time management. There are a lot of tools you can go and search in your Google or whatever the search engines. There are a lot of tools. You have a lot of apps running nowadays you can use and also you can do it in your manual. If you are a person who prefer writing things down, you can do manually. So I will be sharing some of these templates which I am using, and also things which you, if you okay with, you can always use that because they are free. You can have it in the description of this video, and there are so many things you can use. Either you are techno friendly or non-techno friendly, there are a lot of things you can use for time. So but there are few steps which I have been using which has worked for me, so I would like to share with you guys. First thing is, what I did was, because I had also time where I have lot of things in my plate, I have lot of things but I am struggling to get the things in order. First thing I used to do is I started to analyze my daily tasks. First thing I did was I was writing down all my daily tasks. One day I took a book and I write my all the daily tasks that day. I started to do this for almost like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then I started to find some tasks which are nice to have task. Now, for example, you are having some meetings which are nice to have because you also in the meeting, one of your teammates also in the meeting. Those are things you need. You need things which you have nice to have things, because you don't have two people in the same meeting doing the same thing. So those things I used to find, and also there are some things which are repetitions. So when you write it down, just don't write only your professional things. Write everything. Now, for example, if you are waking up at 8 a.m. and you are sleeping at 8 p.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., all the key activities you have to jot it down. When you write it down, at least you need to have more than 2 weeks. If you can do it for 1 month, perfect. Get these things and analyze. Analyze on the basis of, is it something which is important for me? Is it something which is urgent for me? Is it an activity which will give me an outcome? Just use these 3 simple things. When you categorize those things into that quadrants, you can use any other things, criteria also if you wish to have, but make it simple. That will be easy for you. Then you will find some items which are not aligned to either of these things, which are nice to have things. So you need to categorize those things. Now when we do this activity, some may, again I am telling, some may get a misunderstanding, we will do only professional career. No, you have to look at these things: relationship, health and career, all these 3 aspects. Because when I tell this, when I tell the next step, some may do this mistake by just cutting down all the things which is related to your health and relationship. Then you think, oh, I'm perfect, my job, I'm going all with my top guns in job, then I'm perfect. No, it will not happen. If you can find a job, very simply you can find a job, but you can't find a good relationship. You can't take it back your health again. So keep that in mind. I will give you this as advice, which I will explain. There are a few articles also I am writing these days. The importance of health in your life, because you can have all the luxuries in your professional life, But if your health is not up to standard, everything will be in vain. If you don't have good relationship with you, your all what you earn is in vain. So keep these three pillars in a way none of them will fall apart, and all the three pillars will rise as equals. So write all these activities, then analyze those activities. The next step is, now after you analyze those activities, you can cut down, take out a lot of unnecessary activities. Once you do some refining of your activities, your current activities, because if you take your 1 month activities, there will be, you might have more or less 75% of the things repeating in the next month. Only around 25% will change, unless you have something like a vacation running for you in the next month and your school vacation, and then your total plan will change. Otherwise it will be more or less like same plan with minor change. So take out your unnecessary activities, get your activity which is value adding, and try to have them on your schedule. So now, for example, there will be activities which you can avoid. Take them off. So next time when you plan for your, I will be talking about these small tools as. When you plan for your daily, weekly and monthly, you will have a set of things which is yielding you, which will improve your productivity. So second step is, after you analyze and identify these unproductive, remove them and get only the activities which will value you. Now you might be thinking, will this activity will be repeating in the next week? I will have different things. No, this is not the thing repeating. Yes, you will not have the same thing repeating, but the core will be same. Now for you, then question comes, how I will continue this habit. Now you will think, okay, I can refine and get a daily activity, but how can I make sure that I can continue? So there are tools you can do. For example, if you are a person currently try to keep everything in your head, then time to stop that. Because it's very difficult for you to keep everything in your head unless your head is a computer. So what you can do is, if you are not very familiar, if you don't like techno stuff, just have a piece of paper. Start writing a do list. Start with a daily do list. You know when you will be waking up. You know when you will be sleeping. So start writing with the do list. Write each and every activity for that day. And when you write this at first time, you will have a lot of activities going here and there. You might sometimes find it very difficult to write the things, but the big important thing is starting. Start your do list. If you are techno-friendly guy, you can use like the Google scheduler, or you can, even if you are very good with Teams also you have scheduler. You can have these do list. All these things are in the Excel spreadsheet, or even there are a lot of apps are there. You can use one of them. So start small. Have a do list. Then the next thing is, when you have a do list, most of the time what we have a problem is, yes, now we do have a do list. Next thing is, you have the daily do list. You can update in the next day, again next day, likewise. So when you're familiar with this daily do list, expand it into your week. So you have a weekly do list or weekly task list. So all 7 days you have a tentative weekly task list. Now when you have daily and weekly task list, you know what is going on today, what will be happen tomorrow, and even you have a tentative idea what will happen on the next week. This will automatically send a signal in your brain to slot your time accordingly, because you will get used to that concept of time blocking. Your memory will be blocked into different blocks of time, where you will automatically try to adhere into a more or less like a calendar. Even you miss one thing, you will find it very difficult to convince to your brain, because your brain is getting used to that. For example, when first day of your schooling, it's very difficult for you to wake up in the morning and all those things. But after some time, you're automatically getting used to it. You wake up, you dress, you go into school, you try to work into that school timetable. After going out from the school, you come and all this, because your memory start to program. So start with a do list. Then your memory will slowly start to manage your time. You will realize this, how this will giving you benefit in terms of improving your productivity. You will start to if you are a person you don't go to a gym, you will find a lot of free time for you to go to a gym. If you are a person you don't have time to read a book, you will find a lot of free time to read a book. You have time blocks, you are not wasting your time for unnecessary things. Another thing is, the next thing is, while you are doing this task list, you try to have your goals and priorities also set. When you set goals and priorities, because this task list will have a dependent variable of your goals and priorities. When you set your weekly goals, when you set your monthly goals, when you set your yearly goals, try to be smart. You have to have smart goals, not for the sake of term smart. You need to be honest to you, develop smart goals. Then some problem sometimes most of us will come is you will have smart goals, but you will have problems, as I said, setting goals and prioritizing. So if you have problems with prioritizing, again this you can use for even your task list also. There are a lot of tools. For simple tool is something called the Eisenhower matrix. So where you will be able to learn to do things which is urgent, which you should be prioritized, the urgent task. There will be tasks which you can avoid. So Eisenhower matrix, I will go into details, but I will also share a template on that, and as well as I will show some details on why the video is going on. There you can go through. So this is very important, very simple tool. So you can use that sort of a thing when you setting your goals, even your tasks. If you have a person you have problem with prioritizing your tasks. Once you did these things, few tips I would like to give you which will help you to continue this, sustain. So as I mentioned, plan ahead. Don't plan for the failure. Because normally what we do is we plan this week, end of the sun now for the next week. Normally if you are a person planning on Saturday and Sunday, you will take a big booze and go for parties and you forget to plan for next week. So when you start on Monday, you start on back to zero. You don't have a plan, you haven't planned for next week, you don't have your plans, and you just try to do the things. When starting Monday afternoon, you try to see, I am trying to lose the time, where is my plan on? Don't do that, plan ahead. I think I have explained this in this video in few minutes back also. Have your plans ready. So plan ahead, then you will be able to prioritize your things. Avoid multitasking. Other thing is, sometimes what people do is they have their task, they have a plan, but within this task list also there will be activities you have to use your strength, your team strength and other people's strength to get it done. But there are people who don't want to delegate. They try to do everything. Then you will find it difficult, because in order to success in your time management and productive, because one of the biggest thing I have learned, I can assure you, you will also will get the same success. Try to delegate. Don't try to get everything for yourself. Then you will end up in multitasking and overtasking. Both will happen. And you will get stressed up and you will lose your productivity. So try to delegate, because when you delegate, two things will happen. One is your productivity will improve, and also you can share your knowledge with another person. You can feel happy because somebody from your team is helping you, and he also developed from he also getting developed, and you also helping him to develop. That's also something you will get as a leader. So try to delegate things. Another thing is, always try to use time management techniques. I will try to explain, like, at least if you can't use a techno, you are not a techno guy, use at least a pen and book. Because if you don't have this consistency, because some people say, as I mentioned previously, try to remember everything. Or some people just go to the just write it down to a paper and they throw it away. Next day they try to find out what I have done yesterday, which I have missed yesterday. You cannot find it. So have a consistency on that. Have some tools. If you are a techno person, get it online. If you are very good with writing down things in iPads and all those things, it's okay. Use them, because they are there to use them. Whatever the way you try to record everything. Then you will understand where you are going good, where you are losing. Next thing is, very important thing is, now we can have all these things. But if you want to success in your this task list, which I used to do is, every day I used to see out of my, if I take 8 tasks, 10 tasks, how much I have completed. How much have given me output. We call it, I used to call it the hit rate. Out of plan, how much I have completed. So then you will understand there are some tasks which you are missing purely due to your inconsistency. There are some tasks you are missing because these tasks you have tried, you have put it into a task list, but it is not something you can complete by one day. You need support of other people. So then you will try to understand that it is that you have problems in work, which I call this delegation and all those things. So those things also come into surface only if you review your task list. If you can do it daily, that's better. At least weekly you have to do it. Otherwise you will not get the best outcome from your this do list, this time management also. Nothing will come into the realization. The last thing is, once now we told we need to have a task list. You have develop a task list either manually or technology based. Then you have to have your things prioritized, set your goals smartly, and avoid these multitasking, start delegating, all those things. Then end of the day you review things and see where you are in terms of hit rate. But the last thing is, as humans, the biggest thing we have is we like to get recognized. As an individual also, one thing I did in my career is I recognize myself, I recognize other people. When you start to recognize people, it will create a pulse on people automatically to do better. So in your task list also, you might, first day you might complete around 50%. But while you are celebrating your wrecks, where you gone wrong, also have a credit for you. I did 50%. That will be very important for you to go into the 60%. When you go to 60%, celebrate. Then you go to 70%. At the end of the week, if you have done well, have some token of appreciation for you. Because the individual recognition by yourself is more important than somebody recognized from outside. Because the first thing is, you have to recognize you. You have to be happy about you before others say you are the best. Unless you set yourself that self recognition, or if it's self recognition, I would say self recognition scheme for yourself, you will not be able to develop it for other people. So I hope you guys have taken some tips out of this. I'll be sharing you with this Eisenhower matrix. Then there will be some other time management tools I'll be sharing, also things which I am using, task list, goal setting, templates, and also I'll be doing another video on this time management tools as well. But biggest thing is you have to start. If you don't start, whatever we talk will be in vain. If you start, you will fail, but you will learn, and you will be able to do better in the next time. So hope you guys will learn something, and you guys will start it now, and you will be able to see good productivity outcomes through time management in your life. All the best, guys. Let's meet up with another video in terms of productivity improvement in our life through Career Club. Have a great day.